That's Roman Blue, Danger Mouse and Daniela Lupi, which is Jack Savoretti. That's your walker music, right?
That is the music we walk onto. Yeah.
I like that. I like the fact you all just came in. You were immediately like, what?
We came charging in.
You're like, it was like a dog that just smelled a hair or something. You were like, what? We're on. What are we doing? Great. So Pavlovian. I loved it.
Yeah, subconscious.
That's some good walker music.
It is good. It puts you in the mood.
I never think people think enough about their walker music. If I was a musician, I'd think more about my walker music than I would my own music.
I know. I kind of, now that we found it, I really want to keep that.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of bands that change it depending on the tour, depending on the sound.
Well, the thing is, it's an unusual track as well.
It is, and it touches the Italian root as well. It shows, Italian music gets a bad name, and I think that track proves it wrong.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, and it's got that lovely, I don't want to be cliche, but it does have that lovely kind of almost spaghetti western feel about it.
Totally. It's got that... all of Ennio Morricone's orchestra playing it.
Oh, really?
So you've hit the nail on the head, yeah.
It's funny that Italian music, I suppose, does get a bad rap, doesn't it? Because it's either classic opera or that kind of stuff.
Or restaurant music.
Yeah, you don't really think about it.
A lot. But that stuff is great too. If you dig a little deep and check the meanings, yeah, those some of the best songwriters I think are Italian.
So you are well, you're hodgepodge, aren't you? Your mother's Polish German, your dad's Italian. You grew up in Switzerland, but Italian Switzerland, right?
And in England. I was born in England. I was born in London, which is why I've always felt very at home in London. I never really know where to say I'm from because even I don't really know the answer to that. But I definitely am a Londoner.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? London is that kind of city where
I think everybody here feels kind of the same, which is great.
But in terms of your musical heritage, what kind of stuff did your parents play to you when you were growing up then?
I always think I was lucky because I got a pretty eclectic variety there. I think my mom was definitely a sort of Motown soul. Everything was very soulful from my mom's side. My dad was, he had his Chris Christopherson. That was his. He wanted to at least convince himself he was a man's man. So Johnny Cash and stuff like that was always on road trips. But he introduced me to a lot of the real solid Italian singer-songwriter music, which definitely has, especially in this next record, has been a big influence.
And with those guys, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but is there when in Italy, is it for the most part, the music, does it change from region to region? Is a lot of the stuff kind of the northern Italian stuff, or Roman, or?
I think regions have trends, sort of thing. So in that respect, there's certain years where they came out from a city. Bologna is a very big songwriter city. Rome is a big songwriter city. So I think there is a bit. I wouldn't know enough really to follow that. Genoa, where I'm from, where my family is from, is deeply rooted in great songwriting history. So that's something I always love. I think it's always the sort of a bit more romantic and by the sea. Naples is phenomenal when it comes to music. It's got a real Arabic influence too. So Nepal.
I was going to say, surely the further south, they would have that kind of.
Yeah, definitely.
Wonderful. Okay, well, listen, what are you going to do for us first? You're going to do...
Well, this is a song that I think you guys requested, so we're going to do a song which is going to be the opening track of the new record, and it's called Back to Me.
This is exciting, because at the moment, just so we get the context, at the moment we've got the EP, Tie Me Down, which is like an EP and a single. That's out on the 3rd of November, right?
Yeah.
But then the actual album, which is Written in Scars, is that correct?
Written in Scars, right.
That's out next year.
Yeah, that's going to be out in February, I think.
It's very nice of you to do that for us. Thank you.
No, thank you.
You could have dug your heels in. I mean, you could have said, no, I'd rather do something off the EP. And we'd have folded, all right? We're really easy. So thank you very much.
Invited, so
this is Jack Savoretti. Will be the first single off his new album, which is out next year, Written in Scars. This is Back to Me.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I've been acting crazy, looking for a light to help me find my way, falling apart, feeling like a fool lately. I need a little love, I need a little love to come my way. Wishing on a star, I'd give anything. I only want you, baby, to give a little love, yes, I'll give a little love back to me, back to me. Oh, 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 oh.
That's Jack Savoretti with Back to Me, which will be the first single off the new album next year, Written in Scars. That's great.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
You've got a lovely voice.
Thank you.
I mean, we knew that before you came in. Don't worry. Really go,
Thanks.
no, he's actually very good, isn't he? Goodness for that. No, you got a beautiful voice. But,
thank you.
And yeah, it's so sort of like earthy and kind of like...
I'll take earthy. I've heard worse things before. So I'll take earthy.
Have you always had that kind of low, like kind of lovely low register and that?
I think to a certain degree. I think, it's wear and tear as
Yeah.
well. And I've always never really wanted to do this, to have a particular voice. It kind of just, what happens. I've always really admired as well musicians that their voice highlights their life.
Yeah.
So that's something that I try not to worry about it too much. Also because if you do it just keeps you up at night.
It's a lovely way. It's a lovely way of putting it as well. The voice highlights a life.
I think it does. I think it's. I mean, you
You've got
can't.
a lovely gravelly voice,
can't
which means
fake
you've been kicked around a bit. This
And
guy's had a few
I can vouch
balls
for
in
that.
this.
I can vouch for that.
That's Jack Savoretti, accompanied by Jerry, Jean, and Pedro as well. The boys. Are these all your touring band when you
Yeah,
go?
they are.
Lovely stuff. Okay. So is this your third album? Will this be your third album?
This is my This will be my fourth
Oh
album.
my God! I'm so sorry we haven't had you on before.
No, it's cool, man. I appreciate being here.
You're terrible.
Don't worry, man. A lot of people have invited me on. You're not alone.
So how long have you been at it? How long have you been doing it?
I started when I was sort of in my early 20s, and it was never really intentional. I didn't have that sort of hip, I guess. Shows you how unhip I am that I use the word hip. that hip teenage, growing up in a band. I didn't at all. Actually, music couldn't have been further from what I wanted to do. And then I just found that whatever I kept trying to do, I was going home and writing songs.
Yeah.
So I did think to myself before cynicism and age kicks in, why don't I be really stupid and try to make a living out of this? And I was very lucky early on, then very unlucky, and now I don't like to depend on luck anymore. I like to drive myself.
Just going back, what did you want to do before you...
I mean, I had the almost, which is a very common dream of being a football player, of having English and Italian blood. I couldn't really fight that urge.
But I mean, was it a realistic dream? Were you quite good?
I don't know if it's ever a realistic dream, but it was definitely something I wanted to do. I did it till I was 15, 16.
Okay, so you went you had trials and you were at clubs
Yeah,
and
I
stuff.
played for a club in Switzerland, actually, FC Lugano.
Yeah.
And wanted to take that forward. But then I discovered various music and other things. Switzerland was a very liberal country in those days, and that definitely was an influence. It's a beautiful country, so I was lucky to grow up in a different setting than a city.
Yeah.
And that kind of changed my whole mentality, and writing became really important.
But I know, reading my notes about you there was a while back, I don't know when it was, but you felt a little bit like you might just knock it on the head and not do it anymore, music.
Yeah, it's a strange game, it's a strange business. It's tough to do anything when you love it. I think that's where any relationship where you're genuinely in love, it's kind of gonna suck. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to sort of brush it off as easy as people that do stuff they don't really care for. And I think that's kind of all just happened. I mean, there's a dramatic side to it and a whatever side to it. It was pretty cliche, and just learning how to do stuff on the job is always a bit risky.
But when you go through that moment or that period of, I'm not entirely sure, I want to carry on with this, what gets you out of it? What sort of turns you out? Do you just write a good song one day and or do you have a kind of run of luck? Like you said, you have to work hard to make your own luck, but you have an instance where you just go, or you play a gig where you think, you know what, I get it now, I'm back in love with it. Because I totally understand why people would fall out of love with it. With the machine of it, say. Yeah,
it's a very unpleasant machine at times, not always. I don't know, at times. For me, I can only speak on experience. For me, it was songs. It was songwriting. The irony of the whole situation was the minute I quite adamantly decided, this has been fun. I had a good ride. Mm-hmm. I'm out. I've seen what it is, and I don't want to be a part of it. And so I decided to basically walk away on it. And all I did was write about it. Write about how angry I was. Write about the angst. And suddenly... Not that I disregard anything I'd done prior to that, but there was a genuineness that was coming because suddenly I wasn't in the machine for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And that kind of allowed me to focus. It's a bit that silly thing of reminding, remember you at 16 and what would he say about you today? You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. And I luckily, based purely on, I don't know what. It's like, I've always said it's a bit like a lightning rod. You hold it out there and hopefully something hits. And I was lucky that my problems were met with great friendship from good songs.
And then with this album, you recorded, am I right in thinking you recorded every song the day it was written, or...?
Yeah, this wasn't a planned thing. It was really cool.
Good idea, though.
I mean, it kind of started because at the beginning of this record, I didn't have a deal. So making records is expensive. So I'd kind of figured out this way of, Well, when I go in for sessions, I'm going to get it done.
Yeah.
Because I can't afford to come
Yeah.
back. So
I think there's something healthy about that, though. You know, something
Yeah.
kind of clean and lean and...
I love it. Now that I've done it, I mean, I don't want to work any other way. This is, like I said, my 4th album, so I've tried all the different, from where it's taken a year to make, from the record before this we did in 4 days. We literally locked the door to a studio and had to crack it out. And this one, instead, it was more like I was able to just let it be spontaneous. And I think there's a genuine, you can hear in every song that we're trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think for a listener, that makes it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, sure.
I hope.
Just going away from music, you're from Genoa, right?
Yeah, my dad's from Genoa. My dad's side of the family.
What football team does that have? You're big into
Genoa.
football.
Well, Sampdoria
is
the
the other
most
team,
famous.
right?
Sampdoria is the other guys.
Genoa and Sampdoria, that's a big rivalry.
Man, we're playing the derby next weekend. We're opening up the Genoa-Sampdoria derby at the stadium. I know I think I might quit on Monday.
Hang on, you're playing there?
Yeah, we're opening the derby. Genoa's playing at home, and the team invited us to go and play in the stadium with 40,000 lunatics. And it's proper lunatic. I don't know if you've been to a football stadium in Italy, but it's a very different experience.
Yep.
It's very different experience. So it's going to be interesting. It's like a childhood.
What do you play when you go out? Do you have to play? Do you play your own stuff, or do you just
No, my own stuff. Yeah.
When you play it, is there like a?
It's going to be an upbeat.
Was it Genoese?
I'm Genovese.
Genovese. Will there be a Genovese anthem you can play just to make sure that the whole crowd are going to go, I love this guy?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's more than that. I'm terrified of the superstition is very profound in Italy.
Yeah.
So this is one of those. We're gambling with fate here, because if Genoa win, none of us will ever have to buy a meal or a drink or
Wonderful.
Or a cab ride or anything in Genoa ever again. But if we lose, I'm going to have to be in London for a while.
Yeah, sure. And what's the record between the two? Obviously, we know because
just talking about this makes me superstitious.
Oh, really?
But this is actually usually the one glory we have out of the year as Genoa fans. We're fighting for survival every year, so this is the one moment where we're kings for a night. But we have good days and bad days. I think it's pretty fair.
Do you share the stadium with Sampdoria?
Yeah.
Or?
In Italy, everybody does still, except
they?
for Juventus.
Yeah.
Everybody shares stadiums.
Hey, listen, good luck with that.
Yeah, it's going to be scary.
I mean, all being a football fan, I'm an Arsenal fan, but the idea of doing anything that could tempt fate would
I know.
terrify me.
I get angry when somebody moves from like in the room. So me doing this is a big gamble. I think the fear my father has is 100 times more than mine. So that's kind of.
I have that. I sit next to a friend, and sometimes I'll sit one side and he'll sit the other side, and then at half time, if it's going terribly, I'm like, why do we sit like this?
Yeah.
We shouldn't be sat like this. We should be like it's going to make any difference. But you buy into it, don't you?
Don't leave the room. Yeah.
Okay, listen. Thanks for coming in.
Hey man, thank you very much.
It's been lovely having you. We're going to finish up with a Dylan song, right?
Yeah.
Great stuff.
This is a song he never actually released. So here you go.
Are you sure it's a Dylan song? How do we know?
I'm 100% sure.
Just claim it for yourself. Thanks.
I tried that. That's how I found out it was a Dylan song. The lawyers reminded me.
There's nothing around here that I believe in except you. Yeah, you. There's nothing here to me that's sacred except you. Yeah, you. You're the one that reaches me. You're the one that I admire. Every time we meet together, my soul feels like it's on fire. Nothing matters to me, and there's nothing I desire except you. Yeah, you. Used to play in the cemeteries, dance, singing Rome when I was a child. It never seemed strange. But now I just pass mournfully by the place where the bones of a life are piled. I know something's changed. I'm a stranger. No one sees me except you. Yeah, you. Nothing matters much or even pleases me except you. Yeah, you. No, nothing hypnotizes me or casts me in a spell. Everything runs right through me just like water from a well. Everybody wants my attention. Everybody's got something to sell. Except you. Yeah, you. Girl, I'm loving you.
Hey, that's so nice. What's the name of that song?
Nobody Except You.
Nobody Except You. By Jack Savoretti. Not Bob Dylan, everyone.
I'm claiming.
Lawyers on the phone immediately go, that's it. Pull the show. Jack, best of luck with everything. You've got a gig at the Tabernacle in London on October the 23rd, and then I assume you'll be out on the road with the album and stuff next year.
We'll be back in February.
Great stuff. Best of luck with it.
Thank you very much.
The album is Written in Scars. It's out in 2015. And the EP, Tie Me Down, is out on the 3rd of November. Jack Savoretti, thank you very much.
Thank
Cheers.
you very much for having me.